Welcome to the Law Offices of Chris M. Ingram podcast. We are excited to launch a new 4-part series on the National Interest Waiver, or NIW green card. This is really an excellent opportunity for professionals with advanced degrees to self-sponsor their green cards. So let's dive into part 2 of this 4-part series. Before we get started, we would like to acknowledge attorney Chris M. Ingram and his dedicated legal team. They did a great job researching and preparing this material for us, and they would love to work with you. Just a quick disclaimer. Please note that this podcast should not be regarded as providing legal advice specific to your situation. If you'd like to book a free consultation, please visit www.breakthroughusa.com. We are thrilled to be able to present this topic for you today. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. In our last deep dive, we introduced the National Interest Waiver visa, really exploring its core concept, as a self-sponsored path to a green card. For our listeners who might have missed it or maybe just need a quick refresher, what were some of those fundamental insights we truly honed in on back in Part 1?
Well, we really tried to highlight how Part 1 laid the essential groundwork, particularly in clarifying the NIW's distinct advantages over more, let's say, traditional employment-based visas. Our team emphasized that unlike some other options, the NIW really empowers highly skilled individuals, typically, those holding advanced degrees or demonstrating exceptional ability to petition for themselves.
Right, that self-petitioning part is huge.
Exactly. It means you don't need a specific employer to sponsor you, which offers incredible flexibility in your career path and, well, your whole immigration journey. We also looked into Congress's thoughtful framework for the NIW. It's a design carefully crafted, really, to protect U.S. workers. The idea is to ensure that this waiver is granted only to individuals whose work demonstrably serves the national interest, rather than simply filling a job that, a qualified UN worker could potentially perform. And our attorneys also identified some key fields like science, technology, education as common areas where these national interests frequently line up with an applicant's contributions.
And we also saw how absolutely pivotal the matter of Dhanasar decision is in shaping NIW eligibility, didn't we? It really feels like the bedrock for understanding this visa, essentially providing those 3 core prongs that you have to meet for approval. Why is Dhanasar so foundational? What really makes it such a landmark case?
Precisely. Dhanasar is, absolutely foundational. It really redefined the landscape for NIW petitions. Before this 2016 Administrative Appeals Office decision, the interpretation of national interest was, frankly, much more restrictive and less clear. Dhanasar moved away from older, maybe more ambiguous precedents and established a really clear 3-pronged test that USCIS now consistently applies.
Okay, so it brought clarity.
Exactly. Much needed clarity and, you could say, predictability to the process for both the applicants and the adjudicators deciding the cases. It's not just a set of rules, it's really the lens through which every single NIW petition is now viewed. And to bring that theoretical understanding to sharp focus, we briefly touched on Sophia's story. Remember her?
Yes, the researcher.
Right. Her experience vividly illustrated the critical importance of choosing an experienced attorney right from the start. Her initial petition faced a significant hurdle. There was a funding discrepancy, a real problem. It was the precise and, honestly, swift action of attorney Chris M. Ingram's team, providing verified grant records and detailed budget allocations that didn't just resolve the discrepancy, but they strategically reframed her enzyme research. They actually coached her to highlight its direct alignment with EPA initiatives.
Connecting it directly to U.S. priorities.
Spot on, specifically demonstrating its role in reducing plastic pollution in U.S. waters. That strategic intervention, identifying and quantifying the national benefit, was what ultimately led to her approval and allowed her really impactful work to move forward.
Okay, building on that incredible foundation laid in Part 1 for this deep dive, we're going to roll up our sleeves. We're really diving into the nitty-gritty of crafting a winning NIW petition. This isn't just about understanding the rules on paper. It's about mastering the art of presentation, wouldn't you say? We'll explore everything from gathering truly compelling evidence, what makes it compelling, to what it might actually be like to ace a consular interview. We want to ensure you, the listener, understand the depth of preparation required and how to navigate those sometimes subtle nuances.
Absolutely. And we'll go much deeper into defining what exactly constitutes a national interest field, because, this isn't always as straightforward as it might sound. We need to explore how you demonstrate your work truly serves the U.S. when it comes to something as broad and sometimes, abstract as national interest. It's not simply about doing good work, is it? It's about articulating its specific, measurable, and impactful contribution to the nation as a whole. How do you draw that direct line for USCIS?
And to make it even more concrete, really illustrate these principles in action, we'll introduce you to Aisha. She's a Canadian epidemiologist. Our researchers flagged her story, her life-saving work developing an AI model for disease prediction. Well, it's currently facing intense scrutiny from USCIS. Her story will really bring the entire process to life, I think, showcasing both the immense potential and, importantly, the very real, significant challenges of pursuing an NIW. It's a really compelling narrative that underscores why every single detail matters in these cases. So let's start with the absolute core of any NIW petition. Our legal team emphasizes unequivocally that you must rigorously prove 3 specific elements. These are outlined in that landmark matter of Dhanasar decision we mentioned. To frame this for our listeners, what are these foundational pillars, the ones every applicant needs to build their entire case upon?
Okay, the very first pillar is demonstrating substantial merit and national importance. And this is far more than just, having a commendable career or doing good work in your field. It means your proposed endeavor, the work you intend to do in the U.S., must be important enough to the country to warrant waiving that standard labor certification process.
Okay, so substantial merit and national importance. What's the difference?
Good question. Our attorneys stress that substantial merit refers more to the intrinsic quality and significance of your work within your field. Is it legitimate? Is it well regarded? National importance, on the other hand, demands that this work directly addresses a U.S. priority. Think about fields like public health, obviously acutely vital recently, or critical technology advancements like AI, renewable energy, or cutting-edge biotechnology.
So it needs to connect to a bigger U.S. goal.
Exactly. The key here is not just what your work is, but how it profoundly aligns with broader national goals. For example, if you're a biochemist developing a new drug, how does that address a widespread U.S. health issue? Does it potentially save lives or reduce healthcare costs significantly? If you're an engineer working on advanced materials, how does that strengthen national infrastructure maybe?
Sure.
Or enable U.S. competitiveness in a critical industry? Our team guides applicants to articulate, really clearly and compellingly, how their specific endeavor impacts the nation as a whole, not just, say, a niche academic field or one particular company. You need to demonstrate a tangible, widespread impact on the U.S., whether that's economic, societal, environmental, or maybe related to national security.
So listeners should be asking themselves how their work ripples outward.
Precisely. As you reflect on your own work, ask yourself, are you contributing to a cure for a prevalent disease? Are you developing technology that could create thousands of U.S. jobs, revitalize an industry, secure critical infrastructure? That's the scale of impact USCIS is really looking for under this first prong. Okay, moving on. The second central element is proving you are well-positioned to advance your proposed endeavor. It's not enough to have a brilliant idea or even to be working in a nationally important field. You need to demonstrate that you, specifically, possess the unique capabilities and the resources to actually execute that vision, to bring it to fruition. This requires a really robust, evidence-backed presentation of your credentials and capabilities.
So this is about the person, not just the project.
Exactly. Our researchers highlight that this element demands a comprehensive look at several factors. Firstly, your skills. You've got to demonstrate specific expertise directly relevant to your proposed work. Specialized technical knowledge, research methods, leadership abilities, whatever applies. Secondly, your experience. Provide a compelling track record, past achievements, successes in your field. It's more than a resume, it's a narrative showing progressive responsibility and impact. Thirdly, and this is often overlooked, the resources you have at your disposal.
Resources, like what?
Well, this can include financial resources showing you have funding, or at least access to it, to pursue your endeavor. It could be human resources indicating you have a team, collaborators, maybe institutional support, or infrastructural resources, things like access to specialized labs, unique equipment, or maybe proprietary data sets. Consider, for instance, if you've secured significant grants, published extensively in high-impact journals, or established strategic partnerships. These all demonstrate your capacity for future success.
So it connects past success to future potential.
Perfectly put. All this evidence connects to demonstrating not just past successes, but your concrete future capabilities. A truly compelling argument for being well-positioned leaves, ideally, no room for doubt in the mind of the USCIS officer. They want to see that your proposal isn't just theoretical, right? They need to see that you have the tangible means and the proven ability to make it a reality. Our attorneys have seen cases where brilliant ideas, even ones with clear national importance, unfortunately faltered because the applicant couldn't convincingly show their practical capacity to implement their vision. This element is profoundly about showing you are not just a person capable of doing this, but specifically the right person to undertake this nationally important work and see it through to completion. And finally, the third element. This one is perhaps the most nuanced. It's demonstrating that it would be of national benefit to waive the traditional labor certification requirement. This is absolutely crucial to grasping the waiver part of the national interest waiver.
Okay, explain the labor certification part again, briefly.
Sure. So labor certification is a standard and often quite lengthy process for many employment-based green cards. In this process, an employer basically has to prove extensively that there are no qualified U.S. workers available, willing, and able to perform the specific job before they can hire a foreign national. This involves rigorous recruitment efforts, advertising, interviewing potentially, and it causes significant delays.
But the NIW lets you skip that.
Essentially, yes. With the NIW, you're making a powerful and distinct argument. You're saying your contributions are so uniquely significant, so urgently needed, that it would actually be detrimental, a disservice to the national interest to wait for this labor certification process to play out. You're arguing that your unique skills, your specific project, and the immediate benefit of your work far outweigh the usual requirement to test the U.S. labor market first.
So it's about urgency and unique value.
Precisely.
They said my EB1 needed more categories. I can't even dock. What am I going to do?
I need to find the right lawyer that can navigate me through this crisis. I need my EB1 so my new life can begin. These lawyers are amazing. They are walking me through every questions, making sure I don't miss a thing.
Thanks to the law offices of Chris M. Ingram, I'm cleared to land. But my career is going to take off.
Houston. He got his visa.
Need help with your visa? Book your free consultation now at www.breakthroughUSA.com and let us take care of you.
This is where the extraordinary nature of the NIW truly shines. It's reserved for those individuals whose work is so vital that the nation simply cannot afford to delay their contributions through a standard hiring process. You have to demonstrate that the benefits you bring are immediate, substantial, maybe globally competitive, and that requiring you to go through the typical labor market test would, in fact, hinder the U.S. national interest by delaying a critical advancement. It's about convincing USCIS that the nation would actually lose out if your specific expertise wasn't immediately available to contribute.
Okay, those three Dhanasar elements are clear. But beyond just meeting those criteria in theory, our researchers note that specific types of evidence aren't just helpful, they're absolutely crucial for building a truly strong, persuasive case. What should someone be actively gathering? And what are the maybe strategic considerations in presenting this documentation to really support these demanding requirements?
Right, you need a comprehensive array of documentation. And the emphasis here, our team always stresses, is not just on quantity, but on the strategic quality and relevance of each piece of evidence. This includes, naturally, your academic degrees, particularly advanced ones, PhDs, masters, which establish your foundational expertise and credibility. Professional awards and recognitions are also vital. They demonstrate peer acknowledgement, external validation of your achievements, showing you stand out.
Publications too, I assume.
Definitely. Publications in reputable peer-reviewed journals are key. They illustrate your direct contributions to your field's knowledge base, your intellectual leadership. Significant media coverage of your work can also be incredibly impactful. If your work has been written about in major outlets, it indicates broader public recognition, resonance beyond your immediate professional circle. It signals national relevance.
And what about letters of recommendation?
Yes. Critically important. Our attorneys cannot stress this enough. You need strong, independent letters from experts in your field. These experts must unequivocally attest to your unique contributions and, crucially, their national importance. And these aren't just generic letters of praise, so-and-so is great. No, they need to be detailed, specific, compelling.
What makes a letter compelling in this context?
They should explain how your work is significant, why it is nationally important, and how you are uniquely positioned to advance it, connecting back to those Dhanasar prongs. Our team advises seeking out recommenders who are truly independent, meaning they haven't been, say, your direct PhD supervisor or your boss, or maybe close collaborators. This demonstrates unbiased validation.
So arm's-length validation is better?
Ideally, yes. It adds weight. And these letters should, if possible, Quantify your impact or compare your contributions to others in the field, clearly articulating your extraordinary capabilities. For example, a strong letter might detail how your research led to a specific breakthrough that saved a company millions, or maybe how your policy recommendations influenced a new government initiative, or how your innovative tech is now being widely adopted. It's really about building a narrative through all your evidence that consistently reinforces all three Dhanasar prongs, painting a clear, undeniable picture of your indispensable value to the U.S.
Okay, let's shift to the practical realities. The timeline, potential hurdles, the interview process itself. Our team mentioned processing times in interviews can be part of this. What should applicants realistically be prepared for once their petition is submitted? And how does Chris and his legal team help navigate these complexities?
Well, processing typically takes somewhere between 8 and 14 months, according to our attorney's experience. But, and this is important, it's crucial for applicants to be prepared for potential delays. Immigration processes are inherently complex, right? And they can sometimes be unpredictable due to shifting caseloads, policy changes. So managing expectations about the exact timeline is key.
What about hurdles like RFEs?
Yes, a key hurdle often encountered is request for evidence, or RFE. That's when USCIS needs more documentation or clarification on some aspect of your petition. It's not necessarily a bad sign, but it absolutely demands a swift, precise, and thorough response. Often, you need even stronger evidence than you initially submitted.
And interviews, are they common?
They can be, yes.
Okay.
Interviews may very well be required. These could happen either at a USCIS field office inside the U.S. if you're adjusting your status, meaning you're already here on a different visa.
Right, changing from one status to another. Exactly.
Mhm.
Or it could be at a U.S. consulate abroad if you're going through consular processing, which applies if you are outside the U.S. when your petition gets approved. These interviews are a really critical opportunity for USCIS to verify your credibility, to delve deeper into your background, your proposed endeavor, the details of your petition.
What kind of questions might they ask? Oh, they might get very specific. How did you come up with this idea? What's your day-to-day work actually like? What resources do you currently have access to? What do you still need? What are your long-term plans in the U.S.? How will your work continue to benefit the national interests, not just today, but down the road? They'll be looking for consistency with your submitted evidence and really a genuine understanding on your part of your own unique contributions. It's their chance to confirm the genuineness of your claims and ensure your work truly meets those national interest criteria. Our legal team places a huge emphasis on ensuring every petition is meticulously prepared right from the start to meet USCIS standards. That's absolutely vital for navigating these complexities from the initial filing to responding effectively to RFEs and, of course, preparing clients thoroughly for potential interviews. They help clients anticipate likely questions and practice their responses, making sure they can articulate their case confidently and clearly under pressure.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting and often quite illuminating for people trying to figure out where they fit. The concept of national interest can feel incredibly broad, almost like a catch-all that's hard to pin down. But our team's research has detailed several key categories where your work might align with specific U.S. priorities, giving us a much clearer roadmap. Let's truly dive into some of those specific areas. Let's understand what kind of contributions really fit the bill, maybe with some tangible examples.
Absolutely. One major, and I'd say increasingly vital area is science and technology. Now, this is a vast field, obviously, but specific examples clearly illustrate its national importance. Think about professionals engaged in advanced AI development, not just, for commercial apps, but directly for cybersecurity applications.
Protecting critical systems.
Yeah, exactly. This directly protects critical infrastructure, everything from national power grids and transportation systems to financial networks from increasingly sophisticated digital threats. That's clear national importance. Similarly, groundbreaking advances in biotechnology, maybe developing novel vaccines, gene therapies, personalized medicine contribute immensely to healthcare improvements, saving lives, reducing long-term health burdens. These innovations also drive significant economic growth by fostering entirely new industries, creating high-value jobs. Our attorneys highlight how these developments can directly strengthen national defense capabilities too, or enhance the nation's competitive edge globally. It's really about innovation that secures, sustains, and propels the nation forward, ensuring future prosperity and safety. Then there's healthcare. And this encompasses a really wide range of impactful work, extending far beyond just traditional clinical practice, although that's vital too. Consider those developing new treatments for debilitating diseases like Alzheimer's or cancer. That directly improves quality of life for millions of Americans. Or those crafting crucial pandemic strategies and public health models. We saw how desperately needed that was during COVID-19.
Absolutely critical.
Right. This work isn't just about individual patient care. It connects to saving lives on a large scale, significantly reducing healthcare costs for the whole system by preventing widespread illness. And it directly supports key CDC goals for public health preparedness and response. For instance, an epidemiologist developing new disease surveillance tools, like we'll see with Aisha, or a medical researcher discovering novel diagnostic methods, they would fit powerfully into this category. It's about building a more resilient, healthier, and frankly, economically stable nation. Education is another critical sector. This might surprise some listeners as a clear national interest category, but its long-term impact is undeniable. The focus here is often on initiatives addressing critical national needs, like developing and implementing robust STEM science, technology, engineering, and math programs, especially for underserved schools or communities.
Why is that specifically national interest?
Well, the reasoning is clear. Preparing students for high-tech, future-proof jobs directly addresses existing and projected workforce shortages in critical sectors, engineering, cybersecurity, advanced manufacturing, you name it. This doesn't just boost equity by providing opportunities to those who might otherwise be left behind. It also strengthens the overall economy by fostering a skilled, innovative workforce that can drive national competitiveness. Think about educators developing innovative curricula for AI literacy, maybe, or researchers creating new teaching approaches to improve educational outcomes in disadvantaged areas. These directly contribute to a stronger, more capable future workforce. It's really about investing in the human capital that will drive future national prosperity and global leadership.
Feeling lost in a maze of visa types and paperwork? Don't know where to turn? We've got your back. With clear answers and real help, we'll guide you every step of the way. Let's navigate it together. Your journey starts today.
Hello, you must be Clara. Welcome to the law office of Chris M. Ingram.
Finally, I found a law firm that will help me achieve my American dream.
At this law firm, you are important to us. That's why we will be with you every step of the way. So join us at the office of Chris M. Ingram.
And you mentioned earlier it's not just about academics or research, right? Business and entrepreneurship also play a significant role in serving the national interest. How does innovation in the private sector fit into this framework? What kind of businesses might qualify?
It's exactly right. Startups, for instance, can be powerful engines of job creation. They inject dynamism into local economies, often leading to groundbreaking innovations that might not emerge from larger, more established companies. Consider innovative fintech platforms, financial technology. They can increase financial access for previously unbanked or underserved communities by providing access to affordable credit, secure savings accounts, efficient payment systems. These platforms stimulate economic activity and inclusion. That strengthens the broader economy and can reduce societal inequities.
So job creation and economic inclusion.
Yes, those are key aspects. Another example might be a manufacturing entrepreneur developing novel, highly efficient production methods that maybe bring jobs back to the U.S. or create entirely new domestic industries. It's about fostering an environment where innovation leads to widespread economic benefit and opportunity for many, boosting overall national prosperity and competitiveness.
Okay, given current global challenges, climate change, resource scarcity, the need for sustainable development, environmental protection must certainly be on the list. How do contributions in this area qualify for an NIW? What specific types of work are we talking about?
Indeed. Contributions to environmental protection are increasingly vital for the national interest. They touch on long-term health, economic stability, resource security. It's all connected. Efforts in developing, say, cutting-edge carbon capture technology directly address the pressing issue of climate change, which has huge long-term implications for the nation's health, infrastructure resilience, economic stability. Similarly, advancements in sustainable agriculture, think developing drought-resistant crops, water-efficient irrigation systems, sustainable land management practices are vital for ensuring food security and conserving precious natural resources like water.
So direct alignment with U.S. climate and resource goals.
Exactly. These types of work align directly with U.S. climate goals, ensuring long-term sustainability for the nation and contributing to global environmental leadership. Our team also points to innovations in waste management, renewable energy deployment, pollution control technologies. These are all areas that directly benefit the national interest by creating a healthier environment and a more sustainable resource base for future generations. It's really about securing a viable and prosperous future. And closely related to the overall well-being and stability of the nation is, of course, national security. And this isn't just about military might, right? It's also about the resilience and integrity of our societal systems, our digital infrastructure, our intelligence capabilities.
Cybersecurity comes to mind again.
It's absolutely paramount. Cybersecurity advancements safeguard critical systems across all sectors: defense networks, government agencies, healthcare infrastructure, financial institutions, public utilities, you name it. The constant evolution of cyber threats means expertise in this area is in incredibly high demand, making contributions here of immediate national benefit. Our team highlights the vital importance of these efforts for overall national safety and stability. This category could also include research and advanced materials crucial for defense, or intelligence analysis that protects against foreign threats, or even developing counterterrorism strategies. Contributions that protect digital infrastructure, sensitive data, and the nation's strategic advantage, they directly contribute to the country's ability to function securely and effectively, protecting citizens and its global standing.
Okay, finally, a perhaps less obvious, but you said equally important category that our researchers brought up: arts and culture. Now, it might seem like a stretch to some listeners. Its impact isn't always immediately quantifiable in, say, economic terms. So how do artistic endeavors qualify under the national interest waiver? What's the argument for their national importance?
That's a fantastic question, and it really speaks to a broader understanding of national interest beyond purely economic or scientific metrics. Our team suggests that contributions in arts and culture can significantly promote U.S. values globally. They can enhance the nation's cultural influence and diplomatic standing on the international stage. Soft power, essentially.
Soft power. Interesting. Give me an example.
Okay. Think about a renowned musician who consistently showcases unique American art forms, like jazz or blues, to new audiences worldwide. That fosters cross-cultural understanding and appreciation of American heritage. Or maybe a filmmaker whose work portrays American ideals, freedom, innovation, diversity, projecting a positive and nuanced image of the U.S. globally, perhaps countering negative stereotypes. These contributions, while not technological or scientific, can be seen as vital. They enrich the nation's cultural fabric. They can boost tourism, strengthen international goodwill and diplomacy.
So it's about cultural exchange and global perception.
Exactly. They demonstrate the vibrancy and creativity inherent in American society, which can draw talent and investment to the U.S. An artist whose work preserves a unique cultural heritage, or maybe an architect designing iconic, sustainable structures. They could also argue national interest by contributing to national identity, community well-being, even economic regeneration through cultural tourism. It's about the unique ways art can shape global perception, foster international relationships, and deepen the collective national experience.
All right, to really understand how these Dhanasar elements and these national interest categories come together, or sometimes how they can be mismanaged, let's talk about Aisha. Our researchers brought her story to us, and it's such a powerful real-world illustration of the NIW journey. Shows both the huge potential and the very real pitfalls. So where did Aisha's profound passion for epidemiology, this driving force in her life, actually begin? What ignited that dedication?
Well, Aisha grew up in Toronto, Canada, in a really vibrant, multicultural neighborhood. Her parents were immigrants from Pakistan, and they ran a small community clinic. So naturally, she was exposed to healthcare from a very early age. Her father, a compassionate GP, certainly instilled a respect for medicine, but it was a truly tragic personal experience. The devastating loss of her young cousin to dengue fever during a family trip to Pakistan. Aisha was just 10 years old. That experience cemented her lifelong mission. She vividly recalls the emotional impact, stating, and this is a quote our team noted, "Losing my cousin was devastating. It made me realize how vulnerable we are to diseases, especially in areas with limited resources. I vowed then and there to dedicate my life to understanding and combating these silent killers."
Wow. That's incredibly powerful.
Isn't it? This profound personal loss fueled her drive, transforming what might have been just an interest into an unwavering, lifelong dedication to preventing and mitigating infectious diseases globally.
That's a truly profound motivation, turning personal tragedy into a global mission. So how did she then translate that deeply personal drive into her groundbreaking work? How did she get from that moment to developing something with such broad impact?
Well, she channeled that intense motivation into truly exceptional academic achievement. She excelled in medicine at the University of Toronto, consistently graduating at the very top of her class. That speaks volumes, right? Dedication, intellect, talent. Early in her career, she actively sought out and joined cutting-edge research teams focused on infectious diseases, getting right on the front lines of medical discovery and epidemiological investigation. And her growing fascination with technology, particularly its immense potential to revolutionize public health, naturally led her to specialize in both epidemiology and artificial intelligence, a really powerful, increasingly crucial combination.
A very forward-thinking combination.
Absolutely. It became central to her innovative work. She recognized the immense untapped potential of leveraging vast amounts of data and advanced computing power, not just to react to outbreaks, but to proactively predict and even prevent them, potentially saving countless lives.
There are just too many visas out there, and I don't know which one is right for us. We need to get the right advice.
Communication is everything, and I just need someone who will listen and guide me to the right visa type, and not make promises that they can't deliver.
There are so many documents. I need someone to walk me through each one. I can't afford to make any mistakes.
If I can just find a lawyer who understands my potential, I know America will be an excellent opportunity for me and my family.
Welcome to the law offices of Chris M. Ingram, and we are your immigration lawyers, and we will be with you every step of the way in your immigration journey.
At the law office of Chris M. Ingram, you get a free consultation so we can understand your needs.
We don't make promises we can't keep. Our success rate speaks for itself.
Join us and access your step-by-step video guides that answer every visa question.
Their platform is amazing. There are videos that instruct you on everything you have to do. It meant we were in control and we could do it in our own time.
They couldn't have been more helpful. They answered every question that I had, and it was easy to see they were the lawyers for me.
I couldn't believe it with my busy schedule. They always had time to talk to me and put me at ease. That's what I like about them.
So go on our website and get your free consultation now, and your new life is about to begin.
Ask me.
We did it! We did it!
We did it!
Oh my God, I got my visa! Yes, I did it!
And this fusion of epidemiology and AI, this visionary approach, eventually led to the creation of EpiGuard, right? Tell us more about this AI model. What exactly does it do? How does it use this sophisticated tech? And what critical public health need does it address?
Indeed. In 2022, really inspired by the unprecedented challenges and the crucial lessons from the global COVID-19 pandemic, Aisha meticulously developed EpiGuard. It is an incredibly advanced AI model designed specifically to predict disease outbreaks. It uses sophisticated machine learning algorithms and leverages vast, disparate amounts of big data. What's truly remarkable here, and what our team really highlighted, is its ability to integrate real-time data from an incredibly diverse array of sources. It's not just traditional health reports.
What kind of other sources?
Okay, so EpiGuard pulls in meteorological data, precise weather patterns, which can influence disease vectors like mosquitoes or the spread of airborne pathogens.
Yeah.
It incorporates global travel routes, allowing it to map potential pathways for rapid disease spread. Critically, it also analyzes social media trends, looking for subtle mentions of symptoms or health concerns that can act as early warning signals.
Wow, social media data too.
Yes. And of course, traditional health reports from clinics, hospitals, public health agencies. By continuously combining, analyzing, and interpreting these disparate data streams, EpiGuard can identify potential hotspots, forecast the trajectory of diseases, and predict outbreaks with remarkable accuracy. It offers an unprecedented level of foresight in public health.
That sounds incredibly sophisticated and potentially game-changing. Can you give us a concrete, real-world example of EpiGuard in action? It's one thing to describe it, but how did it actually achieve something tangible, life-saving?
Yeah, absolutely. Our team shared a really powerful example that demonstrates EpiGuard's profound potential and its practical application. By meticulously analyzing symptom mentions occurring on social media platforms that often overlook data source and correlating them with specific weather data favoring mosquito breeding. Epidemiology accurately predicted a nascent outbreak in a rural region of Ontario, Canada.
Before it took hold.
Exactly. This early warning was absolutely critical, a game changer. It enabled health officials to act proactively, decisively, well before the outbreak became widespread and uncontrollable. Specifically, they were able to distribute clean water supplies and initiate targeted, localized vaccination campaigns in the identified at-risk areas. The result was staggering. This timely, data-driven intervention ultimately saved thousands of lives that likely would have otherwise been lost. It vividly illustrates the power of data-driven prediction and proactive intervention in public health, transforming reactive responses into preventative action.
That's truly incredible, a testament to her innovation and the tangible impact of her work. And how did this work gain international recognition beyond just that one, albeit very impactful local example? How did it resonate globally?
Well, her groundbreaking work definitely did not go unnoticed on the global stage. A comprehensive World Health Organization WHO report featured Epidemiology prominently. They highlighted it as a groundbreaking model for global health security. They specifically noted its immense potential to be replicated, adapted, and deployed in different regions worldwide, especially in areas with limited resources but high disease burdens. Furthermore, Aisha herself earned a prestigious UN Innovation Award. That's a testament to her pioneering spirit and the universal impact and potential of her work to fundamentally revolutionize how we approach disease prevention globally.
So WHO recognition, a UN award.
Right. These highly significant international accolades solidify her standing as a recognized leader in her field and unequivocally validate the profound national and indeed international importance of her contributions to public health and global security.
So, given all of this groundbreaking work, the clear international recognition, how does Aisha's work specifically align with the U.S. national interest, making her such a compelling candidate for an NIW? It might seem obvious to us, but how do you articulate that for USCIS in the rigorous way they demand?
Okay, let's connect this to the bigger picture and the specific NIW requirements. Aisha's model could truly transform U.S. pandemic preparedness. In a post-COVID world, right, the ability to anticipate and prevent outbreaks isn't just beneficial, it's absolutely critical for national well-being, economic stability, security. Her work aligns perfectly with the CDC's 2024 initiatives, which are heavily focused on strengthening national disease surveillance systems, enhancing early warning capabilities, developing robust strategies to prevent future outbreaks like COVID-19.
And the economic impact, that must be huge too.
Immense. Our researchers point out that there were over $16 trillion in global economic losses from COVID-19 alone. Think lockdowns, supply chain disruptions, healthcare strains, workforce absenteeism, the potential for early detection tools like Epidemiology to save billions in U.S. healthcare costs, prevent widespread economic disruption, preserve immense productivity by averting lockdowns and disruptions. It's truly immeasurable. By significantly enhancing the CDC's surveillance systems, providing that real-time intelligence, Aisha's work directly strengthens U.S. national health security. That makes it profoundly nationally significant, not just, an interesting academic exercise. Her work offers a concrete, quantifiable benefit that directly addresses an urgent national priority.
It really sounds like a perfect fit for the NIW, ticking all the boxes, substantial merit, national importance, well-positioned. But even with such incredibly impactful work and clear national interest, Aisha faced significant challenges with her petition, didn't she? It seems the path is rarely as straightforward as we might hope.
She certainly did. Aisha applied for an NIW to join a prominent U.S. health institute. She was attracted by the visa's flexibility, right? Allowing her to pursue her critical research without being tied to one specific employer's sponsorship. However, her initial petition, unfortunately prepared by an attorney who, frankly, lacked sufficient experience in complex NIW cases, contained crucial flaws. Specifically, it exaggerated her role and direct influence within the World Health Organization. It claimed a level of official employment that just wasn't accurate, rather than correctly describing her consultative role and her award-winning contributions.
An overstatement. That's risky.
Very risky. This discrepancy caught the attention of USCIS, which triggered a formal corrupt request for evidence, an RFE demanding clarification and additional proof. Aisha confided, and this is a direct quote from our discussions, "I was terrified. My entire life's work felt like it was hanging by a thread." This perfectly illustrates the immense stress and uncertainty such a setback can cause, especially when your life's work and your future are on the line. It truly underscores the non-negotiable need for expert legal counsel from the get-go.
That's where attorney Chris Ingram and his team stepped in, right? How did they manage to salvage a petition that had already been flagged for these discrepancies? rebuilding it from essentially a position of weakness.
Precisely. Attorney Chris Ingram's legal team approached her case with meticulous care and strategic foresight. They essentially had to rebuild her petition from the ground up. Their expertise was absolutely critical here. They didn't just submit more documents. They focused on providing concrete, verifiable, and specifically CDC-aligned evidence. They directly linked Aisha's work to the immediate and pressing U.S. public health agenda. This included obtaining new, compelling letters from independent health officials and leading epidemiologists within the U.S. who could rigorously attest to EpiGuard's potential not just generally, but specifically to its impact on American health security and pandemic preparedness.
And they addressed the economic side, too.
Critically, yes. They provided detailed, data-backed projections on the potential cost savings her AI model could bring to the U.S. healthcare system. They quantified the economic benefit in a way USCIS could clearly understand and appreciate. For example, they modeled how EpiGuard's early detection could reduce hospitalization rates, pharmaceutical costs associated with major outbreaks, translating directly into potentially billions in averted costs. This comprehensive, accurate, and strategically reframed approach was vital. It directly addressed the previous flaws and presented an undeniable case for national interest.
Okay, so the petition is strengthened, and then came the interview in Ottawa. A critical, often nerve-wracking stage. What was the core challenge Aisha faced there, even after her petition had been so meticulously rebuilt by Chris's team?
Right, so at her interview, the USCIS agents questioned her U.S. commitment quite rigorously. This is a common and significant concern for applicants who have deep roots in their home country, as Aisha obviously did in Canada, long-standing career, family ties there. The interviewing officers wanted to be absolutely sure that her intent was genuinely to reside and contribute in the U.S. long-term, not just, using the visa as a temporary stepping stone or for convenience.
That whole intent issue, how do you prove that?
Exactly. It raises an important question for many applicants. How do you convincingly demonstrate your genuine intent to integrate into the U.S. and commit your work here when you have deep personal and professional roots elsewhere? Family, property, a long career. Aisha, guided by our legal team's preparation, had to articulate her long-term vision. She detailed her specific research plans with the U.S. Health Institute, her desire to collaborate with U.S. experts, her intention to establish a life in America dedicated to this critical mission. She had to convey that her life-saving mission was at a critical juncture, and that the U.S. offered the unique resources and scale needed to fully realize EpiGuard's potential, which was her ultimate priority. This challenge presented a significant hurdle to overcome, and her ability to articulate her commitment, even under that pressure, was absolutely paramount.
Wow, we're definitely on the edge of our seats here. With her life-saving mission hanging in the balance, navigating these complex immigration hurdles, did Aisha's perseverance ultimately prevail? Did she finally get the approval she needed to bring EpiGuard to the U.S. and continue her groundbreaking work?
Well, to find out if Aisha's dream succeeds and to understand the resolution of her really arduous journey, you'll actually have to stay tuned for part 3 of this series. In that deep dive, our legal team will explore the challenging realities of NIW denials, dissecting other common challenges that applicants frequently face. And we'll introduce you to Chidi, a German entrepreneur who is currently facing his own USCIS battle. It offers another compelling perspective on navigating these intricate and demanding immigration pathways.
Okay, cliffhanger. But we've taken a truly deep dive today, haven't we, into the intricate world of the National Interest Waiver, from the core Dhanasar requirements and the specific types of evidence needed to the crucial national interest categories and the really inspiring yet clearly challenging journey of Aisha. So what does this all mean for you, our listener, whether you're actively considering an NIW for your own career or maybe just gaining a better understanding of this unique visa path and its profound significance to the U.S.?
Well, what really stands out, I think, is the sheer level of detail and strategic thinking required for a successful NIW petition. It's not just about having an advanced degree or even doing groundbreaking work, is it? It's about meticulously demonstrating undeniable national importance, proving you are uniquely positioned to deliver that benefit, and articulating why waiving the labor certification is unequivocally in the best interests of the U.S. Aisha's story really highlights that even with incredibly impactful contributions, the administrative hurdles are very real, and the compelling narrative you meticulously build around your work is just as crucial as the work itself. The NIW isn't just a legal pathway, it's really an opportunity to clearly articulate your singular value proposition to an entire nation.
It's definitely clear that while the NIW offers an incredible self-sponsored path to a green card for highly qualified individuals, navigating its inherent complexities requires immense precision. And as we saw so vividly with both Sophia in part 1 and now Aisha, truly expert guidance makes a huge difference. The stakes are incredibly high, and the difference between success and a heartbreaking denial often comes down to the strategic quality of the petition and the experience of the legal team behind it. So as you reflect on what we've discussed today, maybe consider this. How might your own field, no matter how specialized it seems, unexpectedly connect to a broader national priority if it's reframed with the right strategic lens? Something to think about. Thank you so much for being with us today. We hope you gained a lot from this discussion. Once again, we would like to thank attorney Chris M. Ingram and his team for researching and preparing this material for our presentation today. They are doing an awesome job. Please leave us a comment if you can, as it really means a lot to all the staff. If you'd like to book a free consultation, please visit www.breakthroughusa.com. See you next time on Let's Talk U.S. Immigration. Bye for now.